Hello, welcome along to today's coffee. Well, you know me, like to go to these different places, like to try and coffee in different places. And one of the things I'm really conscious of is many people who come to London go to these touristy hotspots, of which one of those is definitely Covent Garden. Now, Covent Garden has definitely got its place. I wouldn't recommend hanging around the Opera Place or getting food in the middle of Covent Garden, purely because, well, you're going to pay extortionate rates for it. But what I would also suggest is not having a coffee there. Now, they've opened up a couple of coffee bars right in the middle of Covent Garden. You're going to pay Covent Garden prices, and I can't actually tell you what the quality is going to be like, but maybe that's one for another video, where we go do some coffee tasting in Covent Garden. Can you imagine by the end of that, if I do a coffee tasting in one day at Covent Garden? I'll be absolutely bouncing off me nut. Anyway, the idea today is to take you just slightly away from Covent Garden, find a coffee place. We'll see what the coffee's like. As you've seen it here already, it's literally opposite Covent Garden. It's called 3 Henrietta Street. We're on the ground floor where they do the coffee. One thing I'm going to say right from the start is that's a black Americano. I don't know if it's my imagination, but the cup certainly looks quite small. So not your normal size, so we'll see what that comes up like. There's certainly a good aroma, because I can smell the aroma from here. Either that or they know that I'm coming and doing it. So just as a reminder, coffee, why are we doing it? Because we don't want you going off to your Starbucks, your Costas, your Neros, etc. We want to find the independent coffee shops, score them for you so you know the best places to go for coffee. And we have been to some amazing ones on our tour so far. And also, don't forget, if you're coming to London and you know someone else is coming to London who's a coffee fan, who just wants to know where to go for good coffee, do share the video with them, please. That would be really appreciated. I'd love that. And do let us know that you shared it as well, because I just love reading your comments. So, we're at 3 Henrietta Street. So, coming off, it's probably good to say that coming off Covent Garden, you've got King Street and Henrietta Street, both run sort of parallel with each other, going along. And this one, you can literally out the front window see Covent Garden. So that's how close you are. And actually, if you wanted to, you can come into the bar area here and look out and see Covent Garden from the window. That's how close you are, which is really good. I can also tell you, it's another one of those where I'm being watched by the barista, so they obviously know I'm going to do a taste. Now, I wonder, like previous ones where they've known I'm doing a tasting, if they're going to come over with any free food. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right, so, should we go for the coffee? Let's go for the coffee. Right, so, black Americano is in China, so that's good news. Yes, it is small. Let's go for the aroma first. Right, so, now that is I knew it was going to be a strong aroma purely because I can sit in here and I can smell it wafting up. So, what is it? That's the question. Now that, there's quite a bit of a sweet aroma in there. Almost reminds me of a cream soda. It's that sort of sweetness, which I must admit I wasn't actually expecting. With the aroma that was coming, I was expecting it to be sort of more nutty, but yeah, it's a sort of cream soda on there. Yeah, I suppose a little bit of nut in there. For the aroma, well, it's very strong. It's not overpowering. I'm going to give that a 4. All right, so we're onto a good track already. So we're going for a 4 on the aroma. Okay, next, acidity and the sweetness. So let's go for the acidity and the sweetness. And remember, I'm scoring all of these out of 5, so we get 25 at the end of this. Our highest scoring coffee we've scored so far on the channel is at 24, and we've had a couple of 23. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Right, let's go for the acidity and the sweetness. Now that's really interesting, because I was expecting something a lot better than that. That is very bland. Now, on the acidity, it's very strange, because on the acidity, there's a little bit there, but it's overpowered. I think they burnt the coffee. I think that's what it is. I think they've overburnt the coffee beans. That is... You know, I said it smelled like cream soda. It's certainly got a bit of that sort of taste in it, which makes you wonder if they've washed it up with something they shouldn't have washed up the cup with, to give that on there. Right, so acidity, I'm going to give, because that, I'm not being funny, it's not cracking, I'm going to give that a 2. Sweetness, there's definitely sweetness in there, but I think the sweetness is probably the overpowering part. So I'm going to give that a 1 on the sweetness on that one. So at the moment, we're trailing on 7. Now, one of the things that I like to always have a look at is what's the body. Now, the body on this is actually very, very good. So let's do our normal thing. So let's have a quick look on that one so you can see the body. There you go. So that body, I would give a 4 because actually, do you know what? It's thicker than normal, so it's not watery. So they've got that bit right. It's a really weird tasting coffee. I was hoping it was going to be a good recommendation, although there is a coffee shop that we have tried here near Covent Garden. I can put a link to that and I'll tell you more about that at the end, because that was a high scoring one. So the body you're going to give a 4 on, so that puts us on 11 so far. And now the finish, well, the finish is not going to be good. Maybe that's why they give it. Do you know what's coming out in the finish? Berries. But it's almost like raspberries, and it's that sharpness that's in it. That's what's now coming out. Now you're sort of drinking it. The finish, I'm only going to give it a 2. It's not a 1 because it's not a complete disaster, but I'm certainly going to give it only a 2, which, if I remember rightly, that gives us a total of 13, 1-3 out of 25, which is for a coffee. So won't be recommending coming here for a coffee, but one of the places I do recommend is a place called Fair Shot. And now Fair Shot is down Slingsbury Street, which is between Covent Garden and Seven Dials, which is a really, really lovely coffee shop. The score was really good in there for coffee. And also, it helps people that are out of work or have disabilities, etc., getting back onto work. So it's a really good place, really good cause. It's right in the centre. It's a busy, buzzing place as well. So certainly one I would recommend. Would I recommend this at 13? Nah. In fact, I was hoping it was going to be so much better being so close to Covent Garden, but maybe not. Maybe we have to try those ones on the Covent Garden market. So there you go. That's a 13 on it. So I'm going to leave you with Fair Shot up in the top right-hand corner. Thanks so much for watching. And if you do fancy coming up to London and having a coffee with me, do drop it in the comments down below, because if you do, let's see where we can connect diaries and make it happen. Thanks for watching, guys, and Fair Shot up in the top right-hand corner. Bye.